Hello and welcome, my name is Scott and I'm going to take you on a tour in my home village of Pitmedden. Pitmedden has over 250 homes with approximately 650 inhabitants. Coming up to your left you can see Pitmedden's Hotel, the Linsmore, owned by Mr. and Mrs. MacDonald. Many famous people have stayed in this hotel, including Richard Clayderman, the pianist, and Thelma Barlow, Mavis Riley from Coronation Street. Straight in front of us just now you can see M&B Stores and Takeaway Chip Shop, owned by Maureen and Brian Stiles. Next to this you can see our village church, headed by Minister George Robertson. Another of our stores is the DIY shop, which once was a Spar mini market. And here is Pitmedden Primary School. The headmaster, Mr. Emery, has recently retired and been taken over by Miss Smart. This is our Spar convenience store. Originally a house, then a Clydesdale bank, then a Mace supermarket. The road you're on at the moment is the main road to Aberdeen, which runs through the whole of Pitmedden. This is Hillside Estate, where I live. I live at number 20, although originally at number 35. We've lived here for 6 years. Before this, we lived in Arbroath, and before that we lived in England, in Livingston, Devon. Because my dad was in the Royal Marines. We finally settled down and my dad's come out of the services.
Can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, but who's gonna drive you home tonight?
This is our cat TC, named after one of my mum's friends, Trudy Constance. As you can see, he's very friendly. And this is our dog Bonnie. She'll be 12 in September. Pitmedden is set in the heart of Gordon and is surrounded by beautiful farmlands. On the outskirts of Pitmedden is the garden centre, owned by Mr. Charles Slee. The peacefulness and tranquility of Pitmedden is often disturbed by helicopters. The woods are just a short walk from Pitmedden, which are owned by the National Trust for Scotland. Located in the middle of these woods is Pitmedden Gardens. Here one can enjoy a peaceful day out with one's family. Costs 95 pence for children and pensioners and £1.20 for adults. The garden was endowed and given by Major James Keith, and it was founded in 1675. The gardens are visited by many people of all walks of life. As a matter of fact, people from Florida, Texas, and as far as China have come to visit the gardens this year already. Also at Pitmedden Gardens, there is a museum of farming life. The horse was the primary unit of motive power on Scottish farms until the Second World War. The working day began in the stable when the horses were fed and at work in the fields by 6 a.m. for 6 days in the week. Men and horses worked until 11 a.m. when they returned to the stable for both to be fed and watered. In the fields again by 1 o'clock they worked together until 6 p.m. or in winter until darkness fell. Even on Sunday the horses had to be fed and groomed. This here is a collection of farming implements which were used until the Second World War, and here you can see old washing machines and mangles. This is a farmhouse which has been restored by the National Trust for Scotland. This paper is dated May 1937. Here's a collection of lamps and household instruments. Back in the village we can see that in our local park paths have been laid down recently and also street lamps have been put in. This is all part of a programme to redevelop the park area, and money has already been raised for a new children's playground. The whole project has been set up by Mrs. Jenny Rivers of 14 Ryland, Pitmedden. And as you can see, the children's play park is in bad need of being done up or totally replaced. We're back to Pitmedden Primary School, where the area's cubs and scouts meet. And here at Pitmedden Public Hall, jumble sales, coffee mornings, and everything under the sun can go on here. This is the local pub, which many people regard as their second home, especially in Pitmedden. The people in Pitmedden are very active and do enjoy a game of tennis or a round of bowls. In Pitmedden, there is sheltered housing for the elderly, which is called Green Acres. In this part of the village, people like to look after their gardens. Where these houses are now standing, there once stood a prisoner of war camp, which was used in the First and Second World Wars. This is me, Scott Robertson, reporting from my home village of Pitmedden.